Well, hello, and welcome back to the Statutory. Thank you very much for coming along to watch the Snapdragon Studio vlog. My name is Jane, and I run a micro business called Snapdragon Life, where I support people who want to rekindle their creativity, reconnect to the natural world and slow down their lives. And I do that though I have a membership club, which is called the Studio Club, and I have courses which you can work your way through independently, and now, starting today, I have the first kit up in the shop. For the past couple of weeks, I have been on holiday. We went to Croatia, to the island of Hvar, and we rented a beach hut with kind of sea access. So I have spent the last 2 weeks swimming and reading and eating amazing lunches because food in Croatia is incredible. Teaching myself how to crochet. Look, this is my bag here, made of the raffia that I was dyeing with indigo before I left. And just having a complete reset. And I've been back a couple of days now, so like gradually easing myself into work. And it has occurred to me that it has been the most refreshing holiday that I have been on for decades. And I put that down to the fact that when you have a small business, in my experience, when you are the only person in the business, it is really, really easy to become the world's worst boss. To kind of have this idea that you should always be on and always working, and even if you're resting, you should be thinking up new ideas for this business. And over the long term, that's really, really depleting, and we would never, ever ask anybody else to do it. So I decided this holiday that what I would do was that I would completely stop working, and I would also come off all social media, and all media actually, for the holidays. So I took my phone and I physically deleted all media apps. So things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but also news things, shopping things, Pinterest, everything went. I had thought just about, switching off my phone and leaving it somewhere, but my dad was having an operation first week that we were there, so it was very important that I was contactable. So everything but WhatsApp and my phone taken off, like calling facility taken off my phone. And what was really interesting is that for the first time this worked, and I think that it was because before I had tried to say, I'm just not going to use social media. And I would click them into that little bit at the back where they were hidden from the main screen, but they were still there. Or I'd put restrictions on them. But I would know in my head they were still there. This time, because my phone was so boring when I picked it up, nobody phoned me. There were no WhatsApps because I'd muted everybody apart from my family. It was so boring that after a couple of days, it didn't have that siren call at all. And it's very interesting now that I'm home thinking about how I use my phone, what's going to actually be reinstalled there, and whether I can use the quite frankly brilliant settings that you can put, restriction settings, to stop media being the thing that drives my day and lets me kind of do that. So the one thing that I did use was my camera, and I took some films down at the sea, sort of like sunrise, middle of the day, sunset, just because I wanted to bring back that feeling of expansiveness. And I also took my camera out to a couple of places. One is a kind of like a walled courtyard garden in a local town, which has been restored. It's in Starigrad on Hvar. It has been restored, and it's just this kind of incredibly tranquil green space in amongst the sunshine. And the other is a deserted village, which again has been restored, and there's a wonderful wood-fired kind of kitchen up there where they produce amazing meals. But you can also wander around, and it used to be like a summer village, a bit like a shieling in Scotland, where people would go and live there over the summer, and they would harvest the lavender and the grapes and the olives, and they would be kind of like processing them in the village. But it's a substantial place, but it has such an amazing atmosphere and amazing butterflies. So I wanted to film a bit of that, and I have put them together as like a short film, in the hope that you also would like a little bit of summer holiday calm in your life. And now it has been blowing a gale since I got home. So I'm going to finish my cup of tea, and then I'm going to go and see whether there is anything that I can salvage from the garden to dye some wool with. And I will see you next week.
Here I go out to sea again. The sunshine fills my head, and dreams hang in the air. Goals in the sky and in my blue eyes, you know it feels unfair. There's magic everywhere. Look at me standing here on my own again. I'm straight in the sunshine. No need to run and hide. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. No need to laugh or cry. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. The sun's in your eyes, the heat is in your head. They seem to hate you because you're there. And I need a friend, oh, I need a friend to make me happy. And I stand there on my own. Look at me standing here on my own again. Up straight in the sunshine. No need to run and hide. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. No need to laugh or cry. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. and high. It's a wonderful, wonderful life. No need to laugh or cry. It's a wonderful, wonderful life.